Good morning, everyone. Hey, I apologize for not dropping by yesterday. I tried all day to, but my camera kept telling me my memory was full. I had no room, or the only room I had was for a 2 minute and I think 16-second long video. I can't do anything in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. I did have a lot of videos still stored on my camera. I deleted them all, but it still told me I had no space. I had everything cleared out, but all day it kept telling me that, and so I didn't get to do anything yesterday. But I am here now, and I am going to do what I should have done 2 days ago and didn't. I am always hesitant about providing commentary with what I read. Excuse me a minute. And I feel like Psalm 116, 17, and 18 that I read to you 2 days ago should have had a little bit more introduction than what I gave. So I'm going to give that now. I know it's late, but hopefully what I give you right now will pique your interest enough that you'll go back and reread Psalm 116, 17, and 18 on your own, because there's some good stuff in there, some stuff for everybody to use, and maybe with a little bit of introduction, it'll mean more to you. I want God's word to speak for itself and not my word speaking to you, but let me give you a little bit of introduction for those, and then I will continue on with what I had planned for the rest of the day uh, on Sunday when I ran out of storage space on my camera. Uh, so here's a little bit of introduction, and I'm going to be looking down at the notepad reading. Y'all forgive me for that, but that's the way I got to do. Okay. Okay, the introduction or the commentary, whatever you call it, for Psalm 116. This psalm is one of the most personal of all the Thanksgiving psalms. The psalm is composed of three distinct parts. First, a declaration of praise in verses 1 and 2, and then the psalmist recalls his troubles and how the Lord delivered him from them in verses 3 through 11. And then in the end, he concludes with a description of what he will offer in thanksgiving for what the Lord has done. And that is in verses 12 through 19. And notice as you read those that the thanksgiving was given in public as the law required. And now the introduction. Sorry about this. My one of the three legs on my tripod broke, so I'm holding the camera with like a selfie stick thingy right now, and it might wobble a little, and I'm sorry. The introduction for Psalm 117, which is well known as the shortest chapter of the Bible, which ironically, and it's only 2 verses long, ironically, 2 chapters over from 117 is 119, which is the longest. It has 176 or 178 verses in it. But anyway, the introduction for Psalm 117. This little psalm contains a great message. It has the three elements of the hymn of praise: a call to praise in verse 1, a call for praise, verse 2a and b, and a conclusion, which here is a simple praise ye the Lord. That's in verse 2c. The fact that the nations and people addressed in verse 1 makes this psalm the only one in the Psalter addressed in its entirety to the Gentile world. Its evangelistic mood was still baffling to some of Paul's readers. This is one of four passages that Paul quotes from the Old Testament in Romans 15 to prove that God is interested in saving the Gentiles. Okay, and then the introduction to Psalm 118. This psalm, and it's starting to sprinkle on me, this psalm was a particular favorite of Martin Luther, a national psalm of thanksgiving. It apparently accompanied a procession into the temple, probably that of a thanksgiving offering. The changes of person in the psalm indicates that it may have been recited antiphonally, though the following explanation is admittedly conjectural. First, there is an exchange before the door of the temple in verses 1 through 20. The first four verses are sort of an invocation, probably delivered by a priest. Next, in verses 5 through 18, the king leads the people in worship with himself as the speaker. Though interpreted at many times by antiphonal refrains offered by the people, verses 8, 9, and 10 through 12. In verse 19, the king turns to the doorkeeper and asks for entrance. The doorkeeper responds with a description of those who may enter in verse 20, retranslating as a statement, "This is the gate of the Lord." The remainder of the psalm takes place within the temple, verses 21 through 29. Again, there are apparently three speakers. First, the king declares that God has saved him, verse 21. The people respond in a joyful manner to this affirmation, verses 22 through 24. The employment of the stone imagery to represent the Davidic king is echoed messianically. I'm sorry, y'all. I have been sick. I feel horrible. My mind can't think. My mouth can't speak. Y'all forgive me, please. Messianically throughout the New Testament, Matthew 21:42, Mark 12:10, Mark 12:11, Luke 20:17, Acts 4:11, 1 Peter 2:7, and next the priests deliver a petition and a blessing in verses 25 and 26. The final three verses portray the presentation of the actual sacrifice the priest command. In verse 27, the king responds with praise, verse 28, and the people seal the ceremony with the liturgical formula with which it began, verse 29. And I will put all of those scriptures down in the description box below. And that is that for the introduction that I should have given you 2 days ago for Psalms 116, 117, 118. Now that you have heard this and understand hopefully a little bit better, please go back at your own time and reread Psalms 116, 17, and 18. They're all fairly short and they are all very good. I will be back shortly with an introduction for Psalm 119, which is the longest book in the Bible, the longest chapter in the Bible. And then I will come back again today, God willing, and my camera works, with the remainder of Psalm 119, which I gave you the first half already, and I'm going to give you the second half. That's it for now. Y'all behave. I came out back looking for shade. I tried this in the RV. I feel so bad. I am so sick right now that I didn't feel like coming outside. I didn't even water my veggies today, which is a big no-no down here with 100+ temps all day. I didn't feel like watering them today. I just couldn't. I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the energy. I didn't feel like doing anything. But I could not get an internet connection inside the RV, so I came outside to a shady spot, and you can see the shade is disappearing quickly as the sun rises. I'll talk to y'all later. It may be from a different spot, I don't know, but I'll talk to you later.